Hello and welcome everybody to the podcast. My name's Tom Lelio. I'm your ultimate jet guide. And on this channel, we pull back the curtain on private aviation to help you buy or sell a private jet with no experience necessary. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on mindset. And today's question topic comes from our circle community, which if you check it out right over here, there was some question I posted in the circle community. Hey, I have a broker focused book that I'm currently looking to write. What questions and topics do you want me to cover? And a lot of people were asking, how do we stay motivated and be optimistic when we're feeling down, especially when dealing with clients, getting that first contract, mindset, how do we acquire knowledge, how to learn to get information on the aviation market, categories, and again, mindset was one of the big things. So we want to honor that today, and I'll be sharing with you how to get through this idea of like I suck. Because listen, at the end of the day, aviation it's a tough industry. Okay, it's really simple, but it's not easy. And I was just talking to somebody yesterday, and I said to them, an individual interested in becoming a broker and his wife. I said, listen, this is not easy. Okay, a bunch of people have gone through the course, and only a handful of them are still in this, because once you get into it and you see how much work and energy and effort it is just to get things started, to get things rolling, you got to be able to discipline those disappointments, which I'll talk about. It's not for everybody. So we're going to talk about how to keep your mindset going. So let's check this out. Here's the disappointments that you're going to be facing, in the daily. You'll be facing disappointments from owners, from yourself, and from other brokers. And most people expect the first one from owners, like you're gonna call somebody, it's a cold call. I'm not interested. I'm busy. Don't ever call me again. Whatever it might be. And we're kind of like expecting that, and we think we can handle it. But some people, it's too much, because some people, it sounds like, and I'll say this to them, it sounds like they stepped on a Lego before they answered the phone. And they're like, what do you want? Okay, we've all snapped at cold callers. We've even snapped at people that we love and care about at home. Sometimes we're at the end of that. Sometimes it's not even on the cold call. Sometimes it's in the middle of the deal where a client tells you, like, what are you doing? You're incompetent, or don't screw this up. Like, it's hard to hear that. There's a lot of pressure that goes in being a jet broker, and it's just the reality of it. But if you have the right attitude and the right vision, which we'll talk about, we're able to see through that, see past that, and work through it. Next is from yourself, which I find a lot of people, especially when they're first getting started, they feel like, I don't know enough. I don't have enough experience. I can't keep up. They start to doubt themselves. And so it's interesting, because when I'm talking to people, they're kind of confident in themselves, but then when you put them in the arena, when you put them on the field, that's where true character is shown. And I want to say, like, that's okay. I mean, everybody should kind of feel like that. There should be this idea of humility, that I don't know enough. I don't have the experience, but I'm going to learn. Like what I tell my kids, you just put that little 3-letter word yet at the end. I don't know enough yet. I don't have enough experience yet. Okay. And build that muscle. And lastly, I'll talk about, you're going to get some shade from other brokers. That's just the reality of the industry. It is a dog eat dog world out here. And we are on a mission at Jet Life Aero to change that culture. We want to bring about a culture of collaboration and helping one another up, and all a rising tide lifts all boats kind of mentality. That's what we're trying to do. But not everyone's on that wavelength, if you will. And so you'll get shade from other brokers telling you don't have enough experience. You don't know what you're doing. You're lying. You're disingenuous. You're wrong. These are all things that I've heard and hear sometimes. And you know what? That's cool. Like, okay, I'll get better, and I take in the feedback what I can, and I try to grow. So that's my encouragement for all of you guys is, know where the temptation is going to come from. And then let's talk about ways to overcome the temptation. So just in case you don't know who I am, if you're just joining us for the first time, my name is Tom Lelio. I've been in aviation for a number of years now, since 2020. I came from no aviation background whatsoever. I was a youth pastor for over a decade, and then I found jet sales by going online and finding something online on Indeed.com. Probably similar to how you found this channel. You're just like, how, high ticket sales is what I was looking for. My first year, I closed 20 deals and I took home over $100,000, which I never thought I would ever do in my entire life, especially working for the church. And then I doubled that income the second year, and then I tripled the income the third year. So that by my third year, I had taken home over $600,000. And I don't say that to brag. Truly, there are other brokers. I was talking to somebody yesterday that they're like, "Oh, good stats," but I know brokers that are making that in a single deal. And it's like, okay, put me in my place. So I don't say it to brag, but I just show a track record, and I believe success leaves clues. So if you're an aspiring broker, stick around, and I would love to kind of help you out in any way that I can. Uh, and that's why we created this circle community. So go check out circle.jetlifeair.com and learn more about, how to become a broker. So let's stick back to mindset. When it comes to mindset, there's a few different components of mindset. Number one is going to be vision. That is your attitude. That is, what we're looking to do. What does that look like? And then we also have discipline. If you have these two components, that's where we're going to find success when it comes to our mindset and how to stay focused. Vision has the three different components, and these components are there's a lot of different components out there. I'm sorry, there's these three components we use a lot within our training. We have a what, a why, and a how within the vision. So what are your goals? What are your targets? Are you looking for a new life? Are you looking for a new career path? Are you looking for a new passion? Are you looking for a monetary amount? I need to make $100,000 my first year. Are you looking for something more abstract? Like, I just want peace. I want financial security. I want to be able to take my family on a vacation to the Atlantis and the Bahamas. That's still on my vision board. I would love to do that one year. Um, so having your goals, having your targets. Next would be the why. What is your motivation? What is your purpose? So the motivation can be something in front of you, like, I want to take my family on a vacation, or it could be something behind you, like your why, your purpose. Like, well, I got a family. My motivation is my family. And then the how. What does it look like at the end of the journey? Being able to provide financial security for my family, take them on vacation, buy them stuff, whatever it might be. But also, what does it look like in the journey? We need to have a vision that, like, this is going to look hard. Okay. But is this going to be looking hard? Like in the movies, when you see Rocky working hard and he's punched in the bag, he's running up the steps, that can be inspirational. Like, yeah, hard work. Let's go. Or if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a purpose or a why, well, then it's like, when you're in the midst of the hard, then you're not going to push through. I love the line from, I forget the movie, the baseball movie, Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, but he says, of course, baseball is hard. The hard is what makes it great. And so have that vision of, like, look, this is what I signed up for. I knew I was going to be calling people. I knew I'd be uncomfortable calling people. I knew people might be mean to me, but that just means I'm that much closer to a yes. Another tactic that we can use is this book. Let me write it up in here. It's called Go for No. And this is a great book, so that when you're struggling, like, we don't have to be afraid of this word no. That when you read this book, you see how no will bring you closer to a yes. And so I would definitely check out that. Let's see. It's actually, let me go ahead and share my screen over here. If you go to the Circle community, and in the free resources tab, we have recommended reading. And so you can see Go for No by Richard Fenton. Here's this book. Uh, so I would encourage you to check it out. I think this is an affiliate link. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, hey, affiliate link. But yeah, I mean, definitely a book worth checking out. So that's the vision. That's how you stay focused with your mindset, is having these three things intact. And going back to it, this is not a one and done thing. And I think a lot of people see it as that. This is not a one and done. This is something you need to do on a regular basis. Next is going to be discipline. Okay. Specifically when it comes to disciplining your disappointments. Okay. It's not if you're going to get disappointed or face discouragement, it's when. Okay. The most important thing is to not take it personally, to lean on your vision for the motivation. And over time, there should be a space there. Over time, the time it takes to discipline your disappointment will shrink. So, when I was first starting out, my boss told me, when you make the phone call, do not talk about the jet. I don't recommend this, by the way, but this is advice I was given. So I was like, okay, don't talk about the jet. Well, what do I talk about? Just don't talk about the jet. And he was the purpose was he was trying to be like, just be casual, be cool, don't be salesy. All right. Well, I kept making phone calls and I kept getting voicemails my very first day. And then finally somebody picks up. Well, I freak out because I didn't realize like somebody was going to pick up. I don't know why. Of course someone's going to pick up, but I was caught off guard. And he's like, "What do you want?" And I said, um, do you want to sell your jet?" And he's like, "Nope." Click. And I just remember thinking to myself, well, it can't get any worse than that. But it took me about 5 minutes to work up the courage to make the next phone call. Well, fast forward, now that I've been doing it, I can have somebody completely ignore me, berate me, humiliate me, whatever. And now it's like, okay, that stings. Let me go on to the next one. And it's that muscle that I've built up. Honestly, I think part of that muscle is just having kids because they're really good at pointing out like where you're not patient, and they're really good at encouraging you to have discipline and not blow up and have emotional maturity. And so I do attribute some of my success to having 5 kids because they push me on a daily basis and it gives me a lot of practice, right? So just know it's going to happen and know how you're going to respond. So for me, I'm just like, okay, that person must have stepped on a Lego before they answered the phone. Like you got to put it into context, because what happens is you start to tell yourself, you start to make up stories like, oh, I must be really annoying, or I must have called him too much, or I must have said something inappropriate, when in reality, all you asked them was, hey, do you want to sell your jet? And we're so used to creating those stories in our own heads that are not true. They're not true. Like, listen, you're just trying to do your job. You're trying to put food on the table. And imagine we were in hunter-gatherer days, like you're going out for the hunt, and the lion was just like, get away from me. And he scratched me. Or you're gonna be like, oh, I'm hurt. Like, okay, sorry, Mr. Lion. I'm not gonna go, I'm not gonna go hunt you now and feed my family. I'm gonna go over here and become a vegetarian. Like, no, bro, like, okay, like I got scratched by the lion. I got to do better so I don't get scratched by that lion. Maybe I go after that lion another time and I go find something else to eat. But like, I'm still going after, I still got to hunt and I still got to find what I need. And yeah, so just that's really important to be able to discipline and move on. Okay. So more tips on how to build a strong mindset. So we have the fact that a strong mindset is going to have vision and discipline. That's the foundation. But what do we do proactively to to stay in it, to stay in this? So number one is going to be consuming good content. So that would be podcasts, YouTube, read a book. And as I showed you before, we do have, let me pull this. Okay, we do have some recommended reading here within the Circle community. We have got Go for No. we've got 10x rule, sell or be sold, never split the difference, super fans. Okay, all these great things. Now, there's a few different categories. Number one is going to be business wealth content. The business wealth content, I think, is important because it gives you a bigger picture of things. Like it expands your thinking, because I think a lot of us, especially if you're just starting, you know, you may not be making six figures, you may not be making seven figures, but you're hanging out with people that are making six figures or less, less than seven figures, I'd imagine. And so our frame of reference is small. And so looking at business and wealth content opens up your mind to, like, yeah, there is abundance of money out there. So go get it. There is opportunity out in the world, but I need to go into the world and I need to go find it. But if you're always just looking around and like, well, all my friends, they only make 60K a year and they're okay. Like, it keeps your think small. And I'm not saying that you have to make $1 million to be happy. Like, I know plenty of people that make 50 or less, and they're happy with their family. And that was my family. We were happy when I was making 50K as a youth minister. But then we found, like, there's a bigger world out there, and that was attractive to us, and we wanted to go pursue that. So that's what we're doing. We're pursuing that abundance, that life to the fullest, jet life to the fullest, materially, to inform, our interior life. But I'm not going to go there. But anyway, business and wealth, it helps you start to think. It increases your mind, so that when you're doing the cold calls and you're getting, it's like, okay, well, this is the price of admission, right? This is what it's going to take to get to the other side of this goal. So business marketing content, I think, is good. Sales content, things like Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference, 10x, Grant Cardone, Jeremy Minor, NEPQ, like learning how to deliver your message, how to respond to objections or knee-jerk reactions. That's a skill. Using your tone of voice, being cognizant of your tone of voice, being cognizant of somebody else's tone of voice, being able to label what they're saying accurately to build a bridge of trust. These are all skills that most people don't even realize. And it's funny because when I first came into it and I was starting to have success, I was like, oh, cool, I must be really good at this. Well, then fast forward 2-3 years later, I find a training material, and it's like, oh, you need to use your voice, you need to use, humor, you need to use the script, whatever. And I was just naturally doing that. So you may be a natural salesperson, but there's, like I said, success leaves clues. And when you can learn those clues, you can improve on those skills, and you can pass them along and help others, which I think is really, really cool. So, and last but not least, of course, spiritual content. Whether you are religious or not, I think having an understanding of the bigger picture, that is, it's not just about selling jets. It's not just about fame or popularity. It's not just about money. There's something greater here, and I think when you fill your cup up with this stuff, consuming good content, it helps fortify when things, it fortifies your mindset, and it gives you an identity of who you are, whose you are. You belong to, your family, your community, maybe your God. It's up to you. But once you know that, you become a lot more disciplined, and you can face the trials. All right, control the controllables. So to build a strong mindset, first we're gonna consume good content. Then we're gonna control the controllables. This is something that my soccer coach told me in high school. And basically, you're gonna do three things. You're gonna learn your script. You're gonna internalize your script. You're gonna master your script. Okay, you're gonna learn your script because it's gonna show you that there's only so many ways that people say no to you. Truly, when you ask them a question, especially on the phone, there's four options. One, they're going to respond positively to you, like, yes, tell me more. I've been hoping that you call me. Number two, they're just going to hang up. No, and hang up. That's it. Number three, they're going to say no, and you're going to tell that they want to hang up, but they don't hang up. And then number four is the most common, is they're going to say no, they're not interested, but they're still going to stay on the line. So once you know that, you can map out the call. And so this is exactly what we do in our Jet Broker Certificate Program. Let me pull this up for you guys. And again, if you're interested in this, come to circle.jetlifearrow.com. Here's the Jet Broker Certificate Program. Download the workbook. This is the workbook that we work through for our certificate program. And you'll see on the bottom towards here, we map out the call for you. This is the script. So first we show that there's four components to every single phone call: the greeting, the fact finding, the demo, and the close. And then we map it out for you. So you start in the greeting. Hey, Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Good morning. Good morning. Reason for the call is I was wondering who you're opposed to. Okay. And here they go. No, they want to hang up. Tell me more, positive. Or no, but they don't hang up. I didn't put in they just hang up because I didn't think it was important. Anyway, so once you know that these are pretty much the three options that you're going to face, well, now you know how to handle it. So they say, I'm not interested. Great. No problem. I understand you're not interested in selling your plane. It's not on your radar right now. Just out of curiosity, what's one problem with your plane that if I could solve it for you, whether you want to sell it or not, might get your attention? Are you not using it enough, or maybe it's costing you too much in insurance, or doesn't suit your needs or mission? And now we can continue the conversation, and we go through it. Okay. And again, there's only so many answers. And then we close it up. Right. And there's more to this. So learn your script. And then secondly, let me add this to the stage again. Internalize it, learn the different ways to move past finding no. So first you're going to learn it that you're going to realize, okay, there's only so many times they can say no to me, or ways they can say no to me. Then you're going to internalize it. So you're going to learn, there's different ways that I can respond to this. So you find out that, okay, there's only certain things they can do. Now there's ways that I can respond to this, and you're going to test them, and you're going to find the one that works for you. You're going to internalize it, and then you're going to master it. You're going to use these strategies on a daily basis so that no matter what they say, you're able to ebb and flow with it. And you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but the controlling of the controllables builds confidence. This is where confidence comes from. It's from controlling the controllables. So mindset is based on vision and discipline. That's the foundation. And then in terms of action items, number 1, consume good content. Number 2, control the controllables. Number 3, find a good community. This is exactly why we created the circle community for aspiring jet brokers and for current brokers. It's a place where people can learn and grow together. It's a place that has consistency. Like, I'm always here every Wednesday delivering, content to everybody. You want to find a place that you can check in with one another. Competition is good. I remember we used to do listing competitions, who can get the most listings in 30 days. We used to do who can make the most phone calls in a week. So it's good to have targets that everyone is striving for. Collaboration. Listen, I believe that there's enough stuff out there. There's enough supply out there for everybody. So when you're in a good community, in a healthy community, you should be able to work together. And aviation is a really big community. It's a really cool community, where I believe people do, for the most part, want to collaborate with one another and want to encourage one another. But you just got to find the right people. And you can find this in a brokerage. There are great brokerages out there. Like, I feel like when I was working with my brokerage, I felt like we were in a good community. We learned together, we grow together, we had good competition, we had good collaboration, we would collaborate on deals. So I'm not here to say like, oh, the circle community is the only place that you can find this. No, but it's a place where you can go and find a community, especially when you're first getting started. Let me go ahead and add this. So just to show you again, within here, we've got, a discussions tab. We've got a course where you can learn and grow. We've got resources, and, people are asking business cards. They're given, data on different models, asking questions and getting responses, blending brands, and we're getting good comments here. So I would encourage you to check out the circle community, because there's a lot of good stuff going on there. So I would encourage you to go ahead and learn more at circle.jetlifearrow.com. And that's it. I wish you all the best on this journey with your mindset, disciplining your disappointments, having vision. Join the Circle community. Reach out to me. You can send me a direct message right there on Circle, or we could schedule a call. And I want to help you. Aviation changed my life. I want to help more people. I'm on a mission to help more people change their life through aviation the way it helped me.